Welcome to Web School. Here we are with our new tutorial, Typescript. Let's begin.
Hi friend, let's start with the new topic TypeScript. So in my Linux folder, in my Linux virtual machine, we'll cover this TypeScript tutorial. So let's quickly initialize the npm repo. So npm init y. So it will initialize the npm repo. I have initialized with all the parameters as default parameters, and we have got this package.json here, and so basic. I believe that you should be aware of JavaScript before going to this TypeScript tutorial, and so now I will tell about this TypeScript basic rules first. So we will quickly. So this tutorial will cover TypeScript in 30 minutes. Complete TypeScript in 30 minutes. So let's start it. So first we can install the TypeScript. So install, or simply we can do it I, and for globally G -G and TypeScript. Yeah. So we have installed the TypeScript as globally, and I have already installed for my one. So it is just check the indexes, and now now we can initialize this TypeScript repo. So tsc init TypeScript compiler.init. So after initializing, basically it has created a TypeScript config.json file, and so here we will cover this file in the later on, but we can see like output directory, root directory. So root directory is the one which will contain the ts folder, and output directory will be the one which will convert ts to js. And so that's the basic thing which we're going to cover here. And let me make a new directory, mkdir src cd, and in the cd I will we will run the TypeScript rules. So touch src ts rules dot ts rules dot ts, and I will give the mode 7 let's give 777, and src ts rules dot ts, and let's go to this. For the time being I have given 777, and so let's start with the TypeScript rules. So suppose we have initialized a number where a equals to 1 2 3. Let's assign a equals to, so if we will assign it to string now, it will throw an error. Why? Because variable a is already a number type now. TypeScript has declared it as a number type. If you'll go, it's already has assigned it as a number variable, so we cannot modify it to a string variable. So this is the this is the thing which internally TypeScript do. So what we can do is we will start with the let is function scope. Let is a block scope, and where is a function scope. So let me start with the let, and let number, let a, we can make it as a string or number, equals to 1 2 3. So now the thing is, it can be a string or a number. A can be a string or a number. So now we can assign it to a random string. Okay, so this is the fun thing which is there for the TypeScript. We have to make it like either it could be string, number, or if we can make it as like an object, any object. So what we can do is a equals to any object also. Test equals to 1 2 3. So we can make it as any object also. So this is the benefit of using TypeScript, that we can we can have type safety, which we have, like for the Java, the programmers in Java usually know the benefit of type safety. So there is no class cast exception at the runtime or something like that. So that's the benefit, and you will save the runtime errors, or some time you can save a lot of time debugging the errors in the production environment. So, and this is the one thing. And another rule is for the TypeScript is, let's go with another thing, for the array part. So for the array part is myArray. I will declare it as myArray, and what I will do is, here I can write is, it can contain string, it can contain number, it can contain, so no need of capital, and it can contain a boolean. Okay, so this is my array, which, and so if my array can contain my array can contain string, my array can contain boolean, my array can contain number, and so yeah, if I will keep anything like object tests, so it will throw an error. So it's not allowed here. See, so test number is not an assignable string, number, or boolean only. So that's the benefit of using TypeScript. And TypeScript will automatically, when we'll generate the TS to JS code, it will automatically compile it into JS and generate a JS file, and it will yeah, so that we can minify the JS also, another benefit. So I will write, instead of removing this, I will write error, as we cannot add object into array of boolean, string, or number. Okay, and another thing is, let's go for object. Let my object, it can be, so you shouldn't, people do mistakenly here equals to or something. My object, and the type we can describe is a, so let's keep it simple, where a, it could be string, and where b, it could be another string. So again, and where c could be age, like number, and yeah. So now I can make my object as a yeah, so yeah, I can click, basically no need to make this variable same. Yeah, we can rename the variables, that's not an issue. So my object equals to, let's say, name equals to, so Yash, last name equals to E Gupta, and age equals to something 23, and yeah, so what it's showing, name string, name string, age, number. Okay, let me, okay, so we let's see. So if you can see, the error is not there now. I could probably do like this: name, L name, last name, and age, and I can replace it here: name, L name, and age. So now you will see this. So if we will try to add here any new property to this object, if we'll try to add anything new, it will throw an error. Suppose we trying to add property and we are given 1 2 3, so it will give, TypeScript will give an error that property does not exist, it's not assignable to the type, this basically this type. So this one will be the thing. And we can do one more thing. We, instead of writing this long, what we can do is we can create our own type. Let type equals to person, let type equals to person. So what we can do is we can create our own type. Okay, so yeah, now we can use this person. Instead of using this, we can replace it with the person, and it will still the same. So yeah, so we can create our own type also. We can create our own type person equals to this, and we can replace it. Instead of using that long, we can create our type also. And so here I will, instead of removing this, I will comment it, and I will keep it as like, we cannot add property. We cannot add property for the person type. Okay. And another few more things are, we can so question mark is thing which is optional, so let's go with that. Let go with let type class, or let make it type employee. Okay, age, number, and let's keep it age as an optional, so it's an optional, no? And designation string. Okay, so now if we will give this, now yeah, this is the new employee type, which is name, last name, age, and designation. So if I will create now, let employee with the type employee, and with the employee with the type employee, so employee can be like something, name, so Yash, last name, and last name, or let's keep last name also optional, so no need to mention last name. Age, I can mention just designation, designation as SC. Okay, and this will also work because now these two, last name and age, are optional. Okay, so hope we will quickly revise it. So this A can be a string, number, or an object. Array can contain string, number, and boolean. So if it will throw an error, I will uncomment this. So yeah, it's throwing the error. And Now person is a type. This is an alias for the type person, which will be, so person can be name, can be string, last name can be string, age can be number. And now we can have optional parameters, and last name can be optional string, age can be optional number, and designation and other, these are the mandatory parameters. So it's not throwing error for this case. And similarly we can define our own interface also. And so interface interface type also we can do. So let's comment this, and interface employee. So I will write it again, name is a string, and we can have l name, which can be optional and which can be string, and age again optional and can be string, or let's say string or number, but it should be number. And age is there, name is there, and designation is mandatory, and it can be string. So it will work basically same with the employee. So you can see if I will, it should be actually so now it's not throwing error because it's a, we have defined it as an employee is a type of this employee. So now we can have two fields like age and last name, which are optional, and name and designation, which is mandatory. And if we want to export it, like we can export it something like this. And so these are the some basic guidelines for the TypeScript, and we quickly covered this on TS rules. Next session we will cover classes, enums and interfaces, and exporting them. And after that we will going to create a we're gonna do maybe some Google Cloud functions or Firestore access in the TypeScript, and let's see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed this video, small video, and friends, and hope it will be useful for your daily, if you're coding in JavaScript, it will be useful. So let's generate the JS for this TypeScript, and let's see how it looks like. So I will first define the output for output directory and root directory. So output directory I will write it as like public or something, and output directory I will write it as a public, and root directory I will write it like src, and since we have placed the code in src folder, and output directory in the public folder. And I have to change the permission because I opened VS Code in the Linux environment. So let me change tsconfig. Now I can save it, and once I will run ts compiler, it will generate the JS for the corresponding TypeScript. So it will automatically detect the tsconfig.json file, and it will generate the JS file from the TypeScript file. So we see this public folder has been created, and we have tsrules.js, and see it has automatically exposed the modules. What we have exposed is an interface. So and it has created a JS file for that. So for complex JS object, it's much simpler, and we don't usually use this stuff in our daily dev environment or production environment. But from the normal JS, it's most complex JS, which is generated by the TypeScript compiler, and that's pretty good JS generated by the TS compiler. So Friend, hope you enjoyed this video, and hope this video will be helpful. Thanks for giving the time, and I am finishing this session. Bye bye friends, see you in the next tutorial.